Hello and welcome to the United Community Channel. My name is Jack and this is your latest Manchester United news. Manchester United have made a third bid for Bryan Mbuemo. We've been waiting for this, haven't we, for what it feels like months now. But the third bid is in, guys. And we're going to run through some of the details, why it's happened now, why the delay, and the figures involved in it. And will it actually be accepted? So we're going to run through it all real quick, guys, over the next maybe 10 minutes or so. I want to know your thoughts as well, so please do get them in to the live chat as well, or if you're listening back at a later date, let me know in the comment section below. We've got a couple of people in the live chat already. Reese is there and Jason is in as well. Hope you're all doing well, guys. Smash a like on the video if you haven't done so already. Subscribe if you're new. Guys, so we're going to get into it. David Ornstein has broken the story about a half an hour ago, just over a half an hour ago, and it says that Manchester United have made an improved bid to sign Bryan Mbuemo from Brentford. New offer for the 26-year-old forward is worth 65 million fixed, 5 million add-ons. Manchester United are awaiting Brentford's response as they work to close the deal for the Cameroon international and a top target, of course. So look, what do we make of it, guys? Obviously, you know, there's going to be a lot of, I won't say divide, but there's going to be a lot of people questioning why has it taken so long? Why have we taken this long? And now we're eventually up to, you know, what Brentford have wanted. So look, we know the bids that have gone in. The last bid from Manchester United, I can't remember how long ago it was. It's at least 3 weeks ago that we made the second bid, I think. And it was for 55 million plus 7.5 million in add-ons. So 62.5 million was below the asking price for Brentford. They thought it was a fair valuation. That 65 million up front was was fair for somebody like Bryan Mbuemo, who scored 20 goals in the Premier League last year, and going up against what was, I suppose, what other deals were going in the Premier League. United paid something similar for Matheus Cunha, and when you're, of course, we mentioned the likes of Alanga going for 55, João Pedro, so on and so forth. And look, I mean, we've been back and forth on it over the last couple of weeks, talking about it. And look, I do think 65 million up front is a fair deal for Bryan Mbuemo, given the fact that you've got to take into consideration where Manchester United are at the moment and who realistically we are able to attract to our football club. You know, 15th in the Premier League last year, no European football. And when you can get somebody like Bryan Mbuemo in for 65 million, who scored 20 goals last season, and he wants to join Manchester United, you got to jump at that opportunity. You really, really do. So getting the likes of Cunha and Mbuemo in, regardless of what the price is, you know, you've got to think of it as a really, really good deal, and I think it is a really, really good deal. I've got to say it now. Why have Manchester United upped their offer when we spent so long waiting in the wings to make this third offer? And I think there's a number of different reasons for it, and some of these we covered already. First and foremost, you got to speak about United not wanting to get pushed around in the transfer window, and that's absolutely understandable. And I do think that United need to continue that trend going forward. It's going to take time to repair our image. But I think the big issue here, guys, and Liverpool have a big part to play in this, the big issue around our deal, and we spoke an awful lot about the domino effect, and once one domino falls, the rest will follow suit. And you might say, Jack, what are you talking about here with a striker going to another club influencing United moving for Mbuemo? Well, first and foremost, Liverpool have turned their attention to Ekitike as a new striker. What does that have to do with Mbuemo to United? Well, initially, Newcastle were in for Ekitike. Liverpool entered the fray. Ekitike says he wants to go to Liverpool, and it looks like they could potentially get that deal done. It's going to be for big money. That's got nothing to do with Manchester United. What does have to do with Manchester United is that Newcastle have turned their attention now to Vissa of Brentford. Now, we did hear Vissa as being a suitor for other clubs, but there were lukewarm reports. The reports coming out in the last maybe 12 to 24 hours have suggested that Newcastle are going to move quite quickly for Vissa. Vissa moving away from Brentford and Mbuemo moving away from Brentford is not going to happen in the same transfer window. So when we see these concrete reports coming out, and when Manchester United seen these concrete reports coming out that Newcastle are serious about moving for Vissa of Brentford and are going to move relatively fast for him, then Manchester United, you would got to say, maybe got spooked or just said, right, okay, they didn't blink, we didn't blink, enough is enough. We've got to go in and get the player that we want. And look, we spoke about him coming in and getting in for the pre-season tour to America, which we leave for on the 22nd, I think, so next Tuesday. If Brentford accept this bid today, I can see him being in time for that plane journey to the US. He'll obviously miss the game on the weekend if, against Leeds. He wouldn't be in time for that anyway. And I think that was always Manchester United's end goal, to have him in and have him done before we leave on pre-season tour to America. And I think that will give him the best opportunity to maybe balance what we pay for him and getting him in time to get to know Ruben Amorim's system. And I think that's the main reason why we upped the bid. I really, really do. Now, you could say that, Manchester United, blinked first. And we did blink first. You've got to say we did blink first. We did. But we had to blink first because Brentford are going, well, look, we're happy to keep Mbuemo. We're going to sell either him or Vissa, and we're going to keep the other one. So Manchester United are in a position now that they weren't in yesterday, the day before, or anywhere in the last 6 weeks, where they're going, we've got to pull the trigger now. And the reason why we didn't have to do that before now was because we were quite relaxed. He wasn't going anywhere else. His agents refuted any talk of him moving to another club. It was United or staying at Brentford. Brentford were in constant dialogue with us. It's the visit to Newcastle that sped everything up. And you've got to say thank you to Newcastle as Manchester United fans. You really do, because, they've put they've put United into overdrive here to try and get this done. Look, again, the positive side of this is Manchester United have held their nerve as long as they possibly could, and they weren't maybe willing to up their price just because Brentford wanted it. I think the reason why we upped our price and we upped our bid for him was because we know Brentford are not going to sell two players and we want to be the first in to get him. And then Newcastle saw, gee, you can go look at a different striker. But let's see what you guys think here. Let's jump into the chat. Jason says, hope you're having a great day. You too. He also says 65 million, not bad. Could have saved more if we had not took our time with the last two offers. I think ultimately, guys, we would have ended up on this figure regardless. I genuinely do think we would have ended up on the 65 million up front. I really do. Now, let's talk about the 5 million add-ons for a moment. I would expect them add-ons to be quite hard to achieve. I genuinely do. I think, look, you get an extra million if we win the league, if he scores 30 goals in the Premier League, if we challenge, if we get into Champions League football top 4 next season, you get an extra million. I genuinely think they will be hard to achieve because we're looking to give them 65 million fixed up front. Now, is that going to be in installments? I don't know. That's something that we'll find out down the line. But that 5 million, a lot of people are going to say, oh, you're going to give him 70 million. We're not really. And if we do end up giving him 70 million, it's because he's going to be uber successful at Manchester United. And then you won't mind paying that extra 5 million because the add-ons that, he's reached and he's achieved means United are going to be successful. I would presume. Smash a like on the video as well, by the way, guys. 20 people watching, only 5 likes. Take a second, hit that like button for me. It helps the channel. And subscribe as well if you are new to the channel. Desi says, walk away if they don't accept, but should have had this offer at least 3 weeks back. Well, again, that goes back to what I've mentioned about not pulling the trigger on it and being comfortable with it because we had time. As soon as the visit to Newcastle rumours started amping up, our window just completely narrowed and we had to make a move quickly. So I think that's why, we're after pulling the trigger now. Jason says, Cunha and Mbuemo, maybe other 2 signings, we hope, but looks doubtful. I wouldn't put it past us to get more signings in now if we're focusing on Mbuemo, and that's what we've been hearing an awful lot over the last couple of weeks, that United are focusing strictly on Mbuemo. Then if we get a here we go on him, in the next maybe day or two, you could see United moving quickly, whether it be for a striker, a number 9, they're the same positions, I understand, a goalkeeper, a number 6, whatever the case may be. Reece says, hopefully we go get Emi Martinez and Watkins on a double deal. They won't sell both of them. I think Fabrizio Romano's been speaking about Martinez today, saying that the reports linking United are wide of the mark. So we've got to see about that. Martinez and Watkins would put us in much better shape. I would say, Desi, Watkins after this would put us in really good shape. I think after that, you're looking at, maybe not major upgrades, but minor upgrades. If we go get a Martinez for Onana, I don't think it's a major upgrade. If you get a number 6, brilliant. Can you move Casemiro on, or whatever the case may be? But I think the 2 number 10s and the number 9 are the 3 major areas that you need to improve on in the summer transfer window. Because to be honest, that's our best option for striker at this point. SH says, all this arson around for nothing. Well, it's not for nothing. It's not for nothing if we get him in the door. If we get him in the door and he goes on pre-season tour and he scores 20 goals in the Premier League next season, it's not for nothing, guys. It really isn't. And we've got to be positive about it now. Right, we held our nerve over the last 3 weeks and didn't want to budge to Brentford just because they wanted more money. The reason why we've upped the bid now is because they won't sell us Mbuemo if Vissa moves to Newcastle. And that's why we had to move. Michael says, it'll be enough. Will it be enough to sign him? No, I don't think it will. We need to get a number 9 in. We need to get a number 9 in. We really, really do. Sorry now. I'm just keeping an eye here on Twitter and trying to keep updated on it. Yeah. Okay, Jason says, Mbuemo is a class person. He's not doing a fuss with Brentford. If he was not, he would have wanted more money. Yeah, and look, we have had reports from Ben Jacobs, who's been speaking on the United Stand. He was actually on it while the news broke. He said it's going to be a big, big surprise if Mbuemo deal is not completed by early next week. And obviously that's when Manchester United are going on pre-season tour. He also said that not only are United optimistic of getting the deal done, Brian Mbuemo himself has told Brentford he thinks the offer is fair and that and the move should happen before the US tour. So, look, I'm sure Mbuemo is putting a little bit of pressure on his side now that the bid has come in. He's going, listen, you're after getting the bid here now that you wanted, please accept it. I want to move, and that's ultimately without him putting a transfer request in as well, which is of course what you want to see. And again, with players, if he puts a transfer request in, then he loses out on extra benefits and extra, add-ons and so on and so forth. A lot of reports are coming out all around, guys, and we will go in depth into these. I'll go live tonight as well. It might not be at 9, it might be a little bit later, but we will do an in-depth live tonight. The Standard are saying Manchester United's third offer of 65 plus 5 is expected to be accepted. No decision yet, but the new bid matches Brentford's demands, and that's what you've got to take into consideration here. United have matched what Brentford want, and there can't be any debate around it after that. They wanted 65 up front, United have offered it. So it's Brentford's now. If Brentford fuck around now, you could imagine maybe Mbuemo getting a little bit annoyed. Would he put in a transfer request? So on and so forth. I don't know. Desi says his attitude is worth the money alone. Very professional in the way he has acted around all the hype of the move. Amram must be delighted with that already. Absolutely. And we spoke about mentality, Desi, didn't we, an awful lot around what we've already got in the squad with new players coming in. When you've got Martinez, when you've got De Ligt, when you've got Ugarte, when you've got Casemiro, really good attitudes are starting to develop within the squad. If you're adding Acuna and Mbuemo, it only helps the squad morale and I suppose the vision of what Ruben Amorim wants. In the meantime, getting rid of the likes of Rashford, getting rid of the likes of Garnacho, Sancho, whatever the case may be. So yeah, guys, I mean, look, it's good news. Manchester United have a third bid in. Hopefully by our live news show tonight at 9 o'clock, we will know whether it has been accepted or not. So if you are new to the channel, do hit that subscribe button for me. Please do hit that like button as well. Turn on notifications, guys, because you will be notified then when we go live with any updates. And do follow us over on Instagram, Twitter and TikTok as well, where, you know, we tend to put up a lot of breaking news over there as well. Links are all in the description, guys, so make sure you are following us on all platforms. Like I said, I will be back tonight with a live show, so please do make sure that you're tuning in for that. Like I said, turn on your notifications. Subscribe if you're new. Thanks for tuning in. Great news. Let's hope it's accepted. I'll chat to you tonight. Take it easy.